I love this show. Don't we all wish we could join these wonderful creatures in Ponyville? Well, what if there's a possibility for you to change from brony to pony? Now bear with me, cause this theory is a bit confusing at times. But if you think it through as we go along, you may be convinced it's real. And it all revolves around dimensions, one of the most confusing things ever. But we are in the same dimension loop as Equestria, believe it or not. But you may be asking, isn't Kinderlot High the main human counterpart of Equestria? Well, yes and no to that. You see, in the human world, we don't naturally have rainbow-colored hair or purple skin, and there's no trace of magic whatsoever. But what if I were to tell you that Kinderlot High is the, per se, threshold between our two dimensions? The threshold is basically what connects two dimensions, like the closet in Narnia, and it would seem to be too difficult to go straight from pony to human form, so the threshold has similarities from both worlds. So we are surprisingly close to Twilight and her buddies, which means we could easily get there quicker than the other dimensions, on the other side of our dimension sphere. But you must now be thinking, what if this is just some storyline made up by people? Well, grab onto your popcorn, because we're skyrocketing to Lauren Faust, or Faust. Faust is the writer of the MLP FIM series, or possibly the interpreter. Maybe she didn't think of all these plots, but get them from someone, or rather some pony else in the other dimension. In my theory, Faust is someone who can communicate between dimensions, kind of like a psychic or a medium. She basically has a gift to communicate between Equestria and put it into a show here, and this sort of communication has happened before. Take the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, for example. Jules Verne's story told the idea of a submarine in the book published in 1869. That was 7 years before the first actual one was even built. Still not convinced? Let's look at Star Trek. This series featured devices like iPads in 1966. Keep in mind Steve Jobs was born in 1955, making him only 11 at the time. And the Apple iPad wasn't even made until 2010. So MLP wouldn't be the first time to have interdimension communication. Anyway, now that I've cleared up how it can happen, let's get to how we can get to this wonderful place. Twilight got to Canterlot High through the magical mirror or portal, powered by a question of magic. If Twilight would perhaps use some of her alicorn magic on our threshold dimension, aka Canterlot High, to get to us, you would be set in stone. But the problem is, why would she? It may never happen. Even if it did, why will we be patient enough? Yet, if MLP has taught us anything from the petty lesson it tries to give us, is that friendship is magic. What if everyone at Brody Con would all be friends or something like that? Or do some epic acts of friendship that require all the elements of harmony. Would that be enough? It seems so, by my calculations, but it would be a long shot. It takes alicorn magic for an extremely large portion of it to open up a portal. But I think as brownies and love and tolerance being our motto, we can cover that. So that gives us something to do next year, right? But now we have another problem to face. How do we determine our main color in the other dimension? For the main, it's simple. If you have light colored hair, like blonde or light blonde, you'll most likely have a light colored hue main in Equestria, like AJ's or Fluttershy's. Or if you have dark colored hair, like brown or black, you most likely have a dark hued main color, like Rarity or Twilight. And if you're kind of average, like red, light brown, or dirty blonde, you'll most likely be like Pinkie Pie. But with Rainbow Dash, I have no idea what's going on. Maybe dyed? As for the coat color, it could just be random. Or skin color. Now it boils down to one last thing. The cutie marks. The cutie mark could most likely be identified as your strongest talent. Many people have more than one talent, but you might be suited to your strongest ability. I took this theory into consideration when building my OC's cutie mark, but problem is, I did not have a talent more superior than the others. My cutie mark I built for myself was 5 glasses, representing that I have 5 strong talents revolving around academic things, such as drawing, writing, singing, deciphering things, and problem solving. Now, I also remember we have another thing to determine, the pony species. I've narrowed it down that it depends on where the person lives in this world. The 3 main pony races fall into the 3 categories. of where we live in this dimension. Unicorns would be the city, Pegasi would be suburbs, and Earth ponies would be rural. I'm a Pegasi because I live in the suburbs. As for the alicorns, I presume they would be someone far up in the social status like the Queen or President. Wow, Obama as an alicorn. I also bet the writers and creators of interpreting the show into this dimension would also have won themselves an alicorn status too. That may be why Lauren's OC is an alicorn. As for the changelings, buffalo, or any other creature, it is hard to say. That could be determined on personality. Or they could just not be humans at all. Maybe the changelings are aliens that have already made a portal to Equestria, and they didn't invite us. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed my rants and theories and such. Please tell me if you have any flaws in the theory I gave you, and please give more of a response than that it's just stupid or that it is illogical. If you have some hard-hitting evidence, I would like to see it and improve my theory. My OC is here to send you off, but I do have 2 new pony-related animations series coming out soon, as soon as I find an animator. If you can animate in Flash or Source Filmmaker, tell me below. Thanks and peace.